Hey, this is Mo from MRight Trading. It is December 3rd, 2024, Tuesday. We're in the middle of a trading day. We're in the afternoon. And I wanted to go over what's super micro, which seems to be a darling of the market right about now. Let's take a look and see what's going on with it. The first thing I want to do is load up the Magic Linear Regression Channel at MRight Inc. And if you've seen any of the previous videos, if not, go take a look. There's a instructional on this indicator. You have to set the start time and the end time for it. So I'm gonna, let's see, set the start time at a pivot high, which is what I typically like to do. Have a matching pivot highs or matching pivot lows. So we'll set this at March 8th, 2024, and then the end time we'll set right here, right before this gap. And then, so this is the white line is where it's projecting into the future. So we're going to extend that to 100 bars. There we go. That way we get a good idea of what can go on. So you can see that this is respected. This channel is respected here and here, even though it was marked at this beginning and this ending. But these other pivots are seemingly unrelated to anything, but that's not actually the case. So what we're going to do is add a Fibonacci band upper and the half band. And so that added these additional bands, and now we can see where these bands are being respected. So we got to the top here, hit the baseline, then we just track the fib right here. We hit the half band here, half band, or the fib here, and now we just hit the fib again on the upper side and rejected off of that. So I actually saw this coming a few days ago, because we were headed right towards it, and we had bounced off of this level here, bounced down from it here, and we were, it was just a good setup for a bounce level. So it's to be expected. Now, what is it going to do from here is the question. So I think, one other thing is that, we could have used this pivot high just by moving the start time, and we could have seen that here you had a rejection from the bottom of the band and then a breakout, and it kind of followed around here before actually gapping down through it. And so this gap down and this return is signaling to me that it really didn't like being here. So I think it's going to keep going up. But how does it do that is the question. So let's go back to the original one. What I think is going to happen is, once we've hit here, there's a good chance it could bounce all the way back down before coming back to the top of the band. And then we could get some consolidation, maybe a breakout, before it goes to where it's going to go. So that's to me a scenario that could be likely, or it could, let's see, or it could consolidate here as it's already going down, do its consolidation, stay above this level, bounce off of here, and then go through before going to where it's going to go. So those are the likely bullish scenarios that I'm looking for. There is always the case where there is a non-bear scenario where it just completely collapses again. But even then, it has this area of support where it could bounce up and then just rocket, bop, 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 and then go back up. Or it could just, totally collapse, which I think is really, really unlikely. So what this says to me is that there's a chance that SMCI could go back down, hit the 28 level, 28, 29, right about here, before coming back to where it is now and consolidating before it takes off again. Now let's take a look at the anchored VWAP. So I'm going to type in Multi VWAP, get Multi VWAP MW by MRight Inc. And we'll be able to see what the anchored VWAP is telling us in terms of areas of support and resistance. So we don't need all these lines. So I'm going to get rid of custom date. Let's see, and daily we don't need. But what you see is that we have the 50-day anchor VWAP, 20-day, 10-day, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We also have the month to date and the week to date. Both of these probably don't really matter much because we just started the week and we just started the month. So let's take those off. And now we can see the yellow line is the 5-day, and that's rising. And we're above the 5-day anchor VWAP, which is a good sign. Let's see, let's get rid of some of these diagrams. But we do have this year-to-date anchored VWAP, which is overhead. So that will be an area of interest as SMCI price moves up. Who knows when it'll get there, but I don't think it's likely that it'll get there by the end of the year. Let's see. Let's take a look at what the market is telling us today. So I'm going to go add a second pane, and let's take a look. So SMCI on the VWAP, you can see the yellow is a 5-day anchor VWAP, and it looks like we went down and touched that almost perfectly. And we also have an order block. Actually, let me add the order blocks back in so you'll know how to add that. Magic order blocks MW by MRight Inc. Whoops, that's not what I wanted. I wanted to add that. Okay, so now we have the order blocks, and that tells us gives us some areas of support and resistance. And that support was actually coinciding with the 5-day anchor VWAP, and you see a really strong bounce from that level. So we created a brand new order block today where price just dropped at this $44.57 all the way down to $39.14. And for the rest of the day, I'm guessing we're going to stay in between there. I don't see it being very likely for us to have too many more major moves. But as far as going forward, this again could come down to this 28 level potentially. So that's back down here. But I think the more likely scenario is probably get a little bit of consolidation before coming back up to this, the top of this channel, and then consolidating maybe more and breaking out. But even when it breaks out, you're going to have this anchored VWAP from the beginning of the year to contend with. That'll be the area of interest. So I think there is a potential for it to get up to 60, but I don't think it'll be by the end of the year. And yeah, I guess that's about it. So today, not much more action, but we saw the support from the 5-day VWAP, and we saw the support from the order blocks, and we saw the creation of a brand new order block. But that's about it. If you like the tools, go ahead and download them at TradingView. If you don't have a TradingView account, make sure you click the link in the YouTube video, and that'll be my affiliate link, so it helps me out in keeping these videos going. And I think that's about it. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your attention. Goodbye.